So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to RDIhub and our podcast studio. We're delighted to have Minister Dara Calleary here today. So Minister Calleary is from the Department of Trade, Promotion, Digital and Company Regulation. So just wanted to ask you a few questions, and again, great to have you here, Minister. So I suppose in terms of kind of balanced regional innovation impact, how does your Department of Trade, Promotion, Digital and Company Regulation view the regional innovation hubs that you've just seen here, like the RDIhub in Killorgan, Platform 94 in Galway, Portishead, in terms of driving national economic growth and job creation?
Liam, it's so good to be here at RDIhub. We've had a really good visit, really good presentation there. Look, I'm from the regions myself, so I see the importance of them, and the hubs are incredibly important. And we've done a lot of work with Enterprise Ireland in building up that network of hubs, but more importantly, building up their sustainability and their capability and getting them to think outside the box. One of the priorities of this government is that we strengthen the pipeline of scalable startups, and the hubs are going to be crucial to doing that. We've made some changes taxation-wise in last year's budget, and certainly I'm going to be engaging with the new Minister of Finance, Jack Chambers, around further changes in that space. But without the hubs and without the space locally, we won't be able to get those companies to grow from the regions. Yeah. It's all very well growing from the capital cities or from the big cities. We want them to grow from the regions as well. And the human capital is there, and we're just commenting on that here this morning, some of the examples. So Enterprise Ireland are also looking at National Innovation Hub, and we're looking at what that might look like, what might be involved in that. So you've got the quality, firstly, of the buildings, which is important, and the quality of the fit out, but most importantly is what happens in them. What is their work programme? What is their sustainability programme, financial and sustainability generally? What can they bring to the party in terms of partnerships, and what kind of ambition they have? And we're going to do some more work with Enterprise Ireland on that. Mr. Peter Burke has tasked Enterprise Ireland with coming back to us with a proposal pretty quickly.
Excellent. That's great to hear. And I suppose in terms of the support and funding, is there specific policies and funding mechanisms that are in place or planned by the government to ensure the sustained support for innovation and entrepreneurship in regional areas? And how can these be accessed by local businesses and startups?
It's really important, and this is a very important year. We're marking 10 years of the LEO network, the Local Enterprise Office Network, which is everybody's first call for that. Enterprise Ireland, we have the Smart Region SRIS funding call open at the moment, 35 million call, which the good hubs are ideally placed to access in turn. I know you've been engaging in that space as well. We've looked and we understand that business at the moment is under huge pressure. We've put some funding in place through the increased cost of business scheme. We've also widened a number of issues around digital. So the Digital for Business Consultancy Scheme now can take any business up to 50 employees, regardless of sector. We will be launching the new digital hub. Minister Burke will be launching that in July, and we'll be making changes to the trading online vouchers, rebranding them, but also expanding their eligibility. We're slipping back in terms of online commerce in Ireland. We've got to rediscover our mojo there, and I'm going to be focusing on that in the next few weeks. I think, firstly, though, your first stop shop should be the LEO. And secondly, if you are somebody out there listening to this with an idea, access the hub network. Because when you come here, when you come to any of the hubs, it's not just the building, it's the backup that's there, it's the digital backup, it's the virtual backup. And if you were to walk in the door of RDI here, all the partners that are available to you that you may not know. So make that call.
Yeah, and I suppose linked on to that in the area of kind of talent attraction, and it's amazing to have these hubs, but you need people to run them, I suppose. So how is the government supporting regional areas in attracting and retaining talent necessary for sustaining and growing innovation ecosystems?
Well, look, I think it's important. I mentioned the Smart Region Enterprise Innovation Scheme. We have scored €145 million for that to build on the success of the hubs to date and to build on the infrastructure that is in place. So here in the Southwest, there was 18 million approved for 15 projects under the previous scheme. I think 3.7 million has gone into the RDI hub here. It's money very well spent. Now we want to grow that and grow the backup of that. And there are other really amazing hubs. I had the pleasure of opening Platform 94 earlier this year, Portishead in Galway, and we right around the country. There's some good stuff happening. The regional enterprise plans are key, though. Every region has a regional enterprise plan. It's owned by the region. We have oversight boards with chairs who have their plan that's aligned to the region. And we will be looking, we constantly meet them through the National Oversight Group to make sure that they're relevant and that they're delivering. And we've also invested significantly this year in formalising the arrangements with the Regional Enterprise Programme managers as well, so that there's consistency in delivering those programmes.
Okay, and I think that links into my next question. Like, I think you've covered really well the whole inclusive innovation within the regions, but is there, what is the government doing in terms of kind of working with minorities? I mean, we've seen a lot of New Irish in recent times. You know, we see a lot of D&I initiatives around supporting, you know, women and in STEM and stuff like we showed you here today with the STEM Passport Programme. Is there any particular initiatives there you want to call out?
So I want to call out the STEM Passport Programme. It's phenomenal that we get secondary school students at that stage into the STEM side. Female secondary students, and that we give them encouragement in terms of the course and making it accessible. B, unfortunately, at the end of the day, we all have to get the points, and that there's some encouragement given through MTU. That is fantastic. We realise we're not doing enough in this, so we asked the OECD to undertake a report in 2022 around entrepreneurship training and what we need to do to have much more inclusive entrepreneurship in Ireland. So we're actually building out that report at the moment, making investments in that space around female entrepreneurship, around New Irish entrepreneurship. In 2018, we had 18% of Ireland's largest listed company had female directors. We're now at 40%. So when you put a focus, you can actually achieve things. And we're going to put that focus on other areas through the OECD report.
Okay, great. And I guess my final question, like, no conversation could happen without the hype around AI right now. So I suppose I'm interested to understand what your thoughts are on the current digitalisation, artificial intelligence developments, and, you know, the opportunities for regional locations like the RDIhub to kind of drive AI upskilling.
As I said in the room, we're in the middle of an industrial revolution. We're actually living through it, and we'll be working through it. I think it's really exciting. It's challenging for people, and we have just published in the last couple of weeks a report from our own Department of Enterprise, report from the Department of Finance, looking at those challenges. But actually, now that we're aware of them, we're going to be ready for them. So through skills, you know, the program that you're doing here at Microsoft, right around the country, the AI upskilling. You know, SkillNets are delivering networks right around the country through AI. We had in 2022 the expert group on future skills needs commissioned report as what we need for AI, and we're going to ask them to update that report to make sure that we have the proper skills in place. Mentioned the Smart Regions Fund earlier. We're looking for applications under that fund to make sure the regions are equipped and have the skills, but also have the infrastructure. And finally, the AI Act, the EU AI Act, we'll be implementing that in Ireland over the course of the next few months. And we're looking to hear from people before the 16th of July as to what that AI Act should look like in Ireland, what the implementation body should be, and to give people an input into that. So you can come to the DEDI website or the DEDI online presence to give your feedback on that.
Great. Thanks, Minister. There's a very clear call to action there for everyone to complete the survey on the EU AI Act. I mean, we're delighted also to have here today on the podcast the Chief Operations Officer for Fexco, Karl Ahern. So welcome, Karl.
Thanks.
Fexco obviously have been innovating from Kerry for over 40 years, or as we say here, innovating from the edge of Europe. Could you maybe talk to us a little bit about how Fexco is embracing innovation?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Liam. Fexco is a really good example of an indigenous, privately owned Irish company that's grown and scaled and is now employing over 2,500 people, and it's done that through innovation. From day one, 40 years ago, when Fexco embraced innovation to create new markets and new products that solve customer problems, and that was all done through the use of innovation and new technology and creating new technology and business models. So everything from retail currency conversion, dynamic currency conversion with cards, tax-free shopping. These were all products that didn't exist until Fexco created them. And now, we're building payment solutions for complex verticals, like the cruise sector. We're the world's leader now in payment solutions for cruise. And Pace, which is a new software platform that enables companies in the aviation finance sector to understand and model and reduce their carbon impact, for that sustainable world that we have to now live in. And Smart Assist, so we're embracing AI and we're building new products in AI. So Smart Assist is an intelligent automation tool to simplify complex processes and tasks. So we take large amounts of unstructured Fexco validated data and produce structured and intelligent natural language responses and insights. And then, of course, there's the RDIhub, which is a cathedral to innovation. It's something that Fexco has created with partners, and it's enabled, the creation of jobs, the creation of, I think it's over 350 jobs with 70 partner companies, creating 50 new products. And AI and automation and innovation are critical components of that.
Okay. And how do you see, in terms of Fexco's vision, how does the RDIhub feed into that in terms of supporting kind of fintech innovation? Talk to us a little bit about the partnership.
Sure, yeah. I mean, RDI has been a game changer for the Southwest region. As I was saying, it's created 350 jobs and worked with 70 different companies. And it's co-located with Fexco in a state-of-the-art 45,000 square foot building. And together, we're able to positively impact SMEs and startups, corporate partners, nationally and internationally, but also kids through the STEM passport, and people who've decided to locate in the regions. So RDI is a pillar of Fexco's innovation strategy, and we're definitely creating new value and staying relevant in what's a fast-changing digital world.
Okay, I'll finish with the same question that I had for the Minister, just in terms of no conversation can go on without AI. Sure. So I suppose when you think about the future, how will sustainability and AI play a role in Fexco's future?
Yeah, so I think AI, look, obviously it's absolutely critical, and it's critical in a number of different ways. So AI can be used to increase the speed and quality of the production of code and software, and that's really core to Fexco. But it's also enables completely new product improvement opportunities, where you can take AI and use AI to analyze large amounts of data and in our existing products like PACE and dynamic currency conversion, and improve those products to make sure they resonate more with our customers. And then you can create completely new AI-driven products like Smart Assist, as I was talking about earlier, that intelligent automation platform to simplify complex tasks and processes. So I think AI is going to be core to everything we do in Fexco. And in terms of sustainability, energy transition and transition finance are really important, for Ireland Inc., as well as Europe and the world. And Fexco is building a number of different products in those areas. So we have PACE in the aviation finance sector, and enabling sustainable use of assets, making sure that you have the modelling and the reporting, and facilitating things like sustainability-linked lending, which is going to be absolutely key for banking and financial services. And then we're also working on PACE in CRE, commercial real estate. So 40% of Europe's carbon emissions come from buildings and building usage. That's an absolutely huge area, which is going to have to be, under Net Zero 50 and under the Green Deal, is going to have to be changed and managed through the Energy Performance Building Directive. So that's going to be a really important area for every country in Europe, but particularly it's going to be important for portfolio owners, so banks, financiers, asset finance companies who are investing in buildings and own property. They're going to have to make sure that they have very precise reporting of the carbon impact of those portfolios, and then improve the decision making around the commercial lending for commercial real estate, and for the financing of retrofitting. So we're building a solution to help banks and property owners make those right decisions and make sure that they're improving the sustainability of their assets.
Great. No, listen, I think it's a great way to finish the podcast with some real tangible examples, because we hear a lot about the theory of AI, but it's great to have the practical on-the-ground examples. And from a company like Fexco that's been innovating for 40 years, to hear you're embracing it. So I'd love to talk to you guys all day, but we've ran out of time. So again, I want to thank Karl Ahern, Chief Operating Officer in Fexco. I want to thank Minister Calleary for your time and your insights. I want to thank Gerard O'Sullivan for facilitating the podcast. So thanks, everybody.